Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1948 Royal Quiet De Luxe vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And the left has a magic margin. The right side is a manual margin. And you just push them down, move them like this. And you can also move the left one without using the magic margin, but I'll show you how to do that too. This is the paper bill. It sits on top. It's got two adjustable rollers, and the right margin is right on the edge where I want it, and this left margin is pretty close to the edge. But say I wanted it closer in the middle, I'll put the cursor where I want the margin, and I'll flip the margin to the front, and it magically sends the margin to that spot. If you want it closer to the edge, you just hold down the magic margin and push the carriage to where you want it, let it go, and that's where it'll be. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit the line space, get you back to the beginning. It skips 1 or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on double, but if you want single, you just flip the switch back to the back position. It skips 1. To the front position, it skips 2. We're going to keep that on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. Switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. You flip it to the left. There's a red dot there, and that indicates that you'll be printing the bottom portion of the ribbon. Beautiful typing machine. You can type as fast as you want on this model. Very nice print. Very nice typewriter for a daily typer. Very reliable. It feels almost like a classic modern. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a 1940s model, but it feels like a modern, but it has kind of the look and feel of a classic as well. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it down and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or card stock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Shift on each side and the shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top left works great. Tab on the top right, it says a manual tab set in the back. You just push these in and move them where you want them. I got them set on 10 intervals of 10. So when you hit the tab, it'll be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So let's test that. You can look from the back. And it just stops at each one of those individual manual set tabs. And there's a scale back there to tell you exactly what space they're going to stop on. And below the tab is the margin release. You get to the end of the margin, it will block you from typing, and if you hit that margin release, it'll allow you to go all the way to the end. That works good. We're going to move the color selector back to the middle, which prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. But if you actually want, almost every typewriter has this, so where you can put the color to white, which is stencil. So I believe they use that for copying purposes, so you don't waste any ink. You just leave an indentation on the page, and you can copy with that. I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before, but I just under the impression that's what that does. Open the hood, all the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling to the right. And if you want to switch the direction, this lever here on the left side, flip it to the left and it'll pull counterclockwise to the left. We're going to keep that pulling to the right, but we'll test that right there. And it works good. Touch control above that. The higher you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. You do have to hit them harder for them to print. But they respond faster. I like it on low, so I'm keeping that on low for now. Carriage release on each side. Very, very smooth. Very nice. As well, this is in very nice condition as far as cosmetically and functioning. Very nice typewriter. It's kind of rare. It's about 80 something years old. Very smooth. And if you push in this button here, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the platen knob, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is 1 space. Same concept with this lever here. Behind the line space indicator, it disables the spacing. You flip it back and you get those clicks, and that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.